Hello, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about motivation. Motivation, how to become feminine motivation, as well as how to stay motivated yourself. Okay, so let's get into it. First of all, when we're talking about motivation, and we know the definition of motivation, but motivation is simply the drive, the will to do anything and accomplish anything. And by definition, motivation, it's not masculine or feminine. However, it does get to the point where drive becomes more of a masculine trait. So, when we talk about being feminine motivation as well as motivating ourselves, what we're talking about is tapping into our masculinity, because even if you are 90% feminine in all of your actions and all of your practices, your thoughts, your behaviors, you're still 10% masculine. And we want to have high quality feminine energy, but we also want high quality masculine energy. We do. You can't really survive without your masculine energy. It is your drive. It is your get it, your go get it, if you will. On the other hand, in our femininity, we can aspire others and motivate others so that things can be accomplished for us, okay? Not to manipulate or mistreat anyone, but to motivate. And we're going to get into it. So, starting just with ourselves, because you should always look inward first. The first thing you're going to have to work on is time management. Time management is quintessential. It's the kind of thing where if you are constantly going out, right, and you want to have a self-care day, that's okay. But if you know you have to go to work, if you know you get off work and you have to go to the gym, if you know that you have to go to the gym, get off and cook dinner, and you know you have to come back, and you know you have to, maybe you're studying, maybe you're in school, maybe you have children, maybe you are working on a business, a side hustle, a project, anything, whatever. Maybe you're volunteering, maybe it's just service work, maybe you work with your religious community. But if you allow yourself to get so bogged down to the point that everything else and everyone else has your time, what you will do is you will hurt yourself. Not only will you hurt yourself, you'll always feel on the losing end, right? You'll always feel on the losing end. You have to have a balance between how much you go and how much you stay at home. And that sounds so simple, but a lot of people struggle. There are people, and we're women, we hear the same things, right? Oh, it's the winter. I know I need to shave, but it's the winter and nobody's going to see my legs. Why have you gotten to the point where you've allowed yourself to become overgrown to the point of your own embarrassment, right? It's one thing if you have a little stubble and you don't care. It's another thing when you are overgrown to the point of embarrassment. If you need to get your nails done, and maybe it's a financial thing, go get you some nail polish and paint your nails. Get you a gel lamp. Amazon has a million things that you can order, right? They have YouTube tutorials. Go get you a good gel lamp. Do your own manicure. Do your own pedicure if it's a financial thing, which also goes back to time. The way that it was explained to me, and it's a book, and actually has nothing to do with motivation, but it's a really good book, and it's called The Millionaire Real Estate Investor, and it's by Gary Keller. And in the book, he says that human beings only have a few resources. He says we have time, money, and skill. So if you have some skill, like maybe you know how to do your nails, and you have a little bit of time, your nails can be done. If you have the money and you don't have as much time, then you can go to the shop. Or if you have the money and the skill, then it's nothing to go buy nicer quality items, nicer quality polishes, nicer quality, whatever the particular thing you're dealing with. But you're able to spend more, and then you can use skill and time appropriately. I would like to add to that, actually. I think another resource is energy. Okay, energy is a very important resource because once it runs out, you kind of can't get anymore. And this brings us to our second point when it comes to our own motivation, and that's staying ahead. Staying ahead. Staying ahead means if you know that your day looks something like this: get up, go to work, come home, work out. Maybe you try to take a nap for an hour, then come back from the gym, cook dinner, shower, Maybe you have to study, whatever. If you know you have a lot of things going on, which is normal, then you have to stay ahead. If it's a Sunday afternoon and you're free, cook a bunch of food, meal prep, have some meals. The thing that I did that really helped me with time was I started ordering food. You can order groceries, so I started there. I would always get my groceries ordered and delivered, right? The Instacart is a real thing. Second thing I would do is so I tried Daily Harvest, which I love. Daily Harvest is a vegan, plant-based company, but they have nutritional snacks, they have smoothies, they have desserts. They have meals, they have pizzas, like flatbread pizzas, veggie pizzas. So this company delivers food to my house once a month. You can pick so many items or whatever, but the point that I'm making is this allows me to have healthy meals during my day. This allows me to come and make a shake, right? They have smoothies of different kinds. This allows me to eat healthy, to keep my weight under control, right? This has helped me staying ahead. The next thing I did was I started ordering. There's a company, and they have a lot of them. Hello Fresh, Daily Chef, and you can get a couple of meals, right? Find your budget, figure out what works best for you, but you can get a couple of meals. And they had the recipes, they had just the right amount of ingredients. I didn't have any extras, I had nothing going bad, and I was able to cook so many meals a week. And then I had my vegan plant meals, and that allowed me to really help my body and lose weight, right? So at the end of the day, yes, you want to exercise, but when you come home and you're tired and you know you have to cook and you know you have to do all these things, think ahead. If you stay ahead, you don't have to get ahead, right? This goes with our maintenance. If you stay on top of your maintenance, stay on top of your routines, your shaving, your waxing, your hair care, your nail care, right? If you stay ahead of these things, stay ahead of your work. If you have free time, why are you sitting around watching TV? It's okay to be social. I'm not telling you to kill yourself. I'm not telling you to just break yourself down and work so hard till there's nothing left. But I am saying that if you're not happy with where you are in life, why are you sitting around watching TV? Why are you being entertained if you're not truly where you want to be? Get up and get ahead. That's what I mean by time management and staying ahead. Use those two things. They will A, help your energy. B, it will assist in skill acquisition, right? Because you're staying ahead. You know how to do things. You're YouTubing, you're Googling things, right? And then you can see how your money fits into those items, right? Okay? Our third topic when it comes to motivating ourselves in a feminine way is staying pampered. We talked about maintenance, and maintenance is good. You want to make sure your nails and hair and skin and things like that are up to par. But staying pampered, are you getting massages? Are you getting facials? Are you getting steam treatments? Are you going to the salon? Are you allowing yourself to be taken care of well by yourself? Are you doing your vibration work? Are you doing your intentional journaling? What are you doing to pamper yourself? When you pamper yourself and you take care of yourself well, not only is that inspiration for yourself because you're vibrating higher, you're vibrating on a higher frequency, it also assist you with the next section. And the next section that we're going to get into is how do we, now that we're motivated, now that we're in our feminine, how do we now femininely motivate others, okay? Especially men, but others as well. Because sometimes you'll find that when you're in your feminine energy, it affects everyone, men, women, children. There are women who live their lives in their masculine energy so much to the point that your femininity is a breath of fresh air, right? It inspires them. Their children, they love your feminine energy, right? They receive it wholeheartedly. So my first bullet is saying thank you. This is a very feminine thing to do, okay? It shows that you receive well. Oh, somebody does something for you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Somebody helps you. Thank you for your wisdom. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you, right? When you say thank you, when you show gratitude, it is such a feminine thing. It is such a feminine thing. And it almost can't be stressed enough, Just being able to say thank you. Also, what it does is it aids in your perception. If you're a person and you feel like you don't have enough, right? We talk about the scarcity mindset. We talk about the survival mindset. If you feel like there's not enough, when you say thank you, you're saying, I appreciate what I have. Thank you for allowing me to have plenty. Over time, saying thank you will help get rid of your scarcity mindset. It really, truly will. And you'll find that in saying thank you, people will want to give to you because they feel so appreciated. Not because you're trying to trick people or trap people or manipulate people, but simply because you want to take the opportunity to say thank you. You want to take the opportunity to show gratitude, and that will make people want to give to you. Some of the people we love the most is, or if you think about an engagement, right? The guy has gotten all of the family together and friends, and when the bride to be walks in, or the soon to be fiance, when she walks in, she just cries, right? It's always this thing, it's like, oh my God, this is perfect, because she's trying to receive so much and it just overflows, right? Men love that. They love that. They absolutely love it when you can receive. Even biologically, we are the receivers and they are the givers. But on another level, there are women and they didn't have feminine guidance. They didn't have feminine mothers. Maybe they saw their mothers stay in survival mode and scarcity mindset. Maybe they saw their mothers operate out of their masculine energy constantly and consistently, right? So when you're in your feminine, and you are receiving from them, it helps them. So being feminine, it helps everyone. It helps the world. It really, truly does, because we are the nurturers of the world. This brings us to our second point, how to receive completely, because you want to receive completely, but only giving out of your surplus, okay? And what this means is, what balance is it for you? Every person is different. Some people have 8% masculinity and 92% femininity. Some people are more around like 88%, 85%, and maybe about 15 to 7% masculinity, right? So everybody's percentages are going to be a little different. So you have to find your own personal balance, but you have to decide, what are my boundaries? What are the things that I can receive wholeheartedly, I can receive completely, but I don't have to give out of anything but my surplus, okay? I don't have to give to the point of alerting my boundaries, right? Triggering my alarm systems, traumatizing my spirit, traumatizing my heart, my mind, or my body, right? How do I do this? What does this look like? I'll give you an example. The other day, I was at Target, because I love Target, and I had a few items. I didn't have the most items, but I had a few items, and the cashier rung them up, and maybe it came to around $50. When the cashier says, okay, your total's like 52, whatever. The man behind me says, I'll pay for it. I said, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Wow. Thank you. And he was like, you're welcome. And then I turned around because that moment was over. I don't want your number. I don't want you to talk to me. Past that point, you did something kind for me. I owe you nothing. I asked you for nothing. You gave to me, and I received. Thank you. I appreciate you. That's the end of it. If somebody wants to continue to push, you can simply say, well, I appreciate you, but no thank you. I appreciate you, but no thank you. How do you step into your feminine energy and then turn it, and then in your masculine energy, you put your boundaries up, you establish protection for yourself, and you only give out of your surplus. If you want to give a smile, give a smile. If you don't want to talk, don't say words. You might not have extra words to give in that moment, right? You might not have anything else extra to give in that moment besides a thank you. And that's okay. You are able to receive completely, not, well, I don't know what you want in return for paying for these groceries, but I'm not doing it. Nobody asked you that. Nobody said anything about that. Nobody asked you for your negativity. At that point, you're giving out of a place that's not your surplus. You feel like you got to go way deep down inside to make sure they truly understand your boundaries. No. You don't want anything from anyone. If someone does something nice for you, you can receive completely, and establish your boundaries, right? And say, what I give is only out of my surplus. Thank you is always in my surplus. It does not cost me anything to say thank you. If that person had asked me for my phone number, that might have cost something. It might have done something different to my mindset. But I was able to just simply receive and then turn my energy forward and go on about my business, and it was fine. That's a part of life. I've seen it more than once where people will want to do something nice for somebody, and the receiver of the benefactor of that thing becomes, I don't quite know what the word is. It's not, I don't want to say masculine, but they feel that if they receive, then there's going to be manipulation. If they receive, there's going to be violence. If they receive, there's going to be trauma. Well, I don't want to be too nice and say thank you too much. And then I'll be sorry. And then people will think I'm weak. And then people will think I'm stupid. I don't want that to happen to me. So I'll keep myself closed off. I'll keep myself guarded so that nothing can penetrate, so nothing can enter. Because that way, if my guard is up, if my energy doesn't allow for any penetration, I cannot receive anything, then that means that I can't be hurt if I let something in, right? It's a defense mechanism. And as a woman, especially, you are in the position and you have to understand that men are created to be the protectors of women. That is their role. And while some men are predators completely, and I'll have to do a separate video on that, in general, men are the protectors and the keepers of women. And sometimes when you live in that energy where you're trying to constantly protect yourself, you end up, A, cutting yourself off from blessings, but B, you also end up blocking yourself and finding yourself shut down so much that you can't even receive in situations that are not threatening. Okay? There are people who, if they had to receive even from a woman or somebody that they don't feel is after them in any kind of way, they can't do it. Okay. Wow, okay, thank you. I appreciate that. You hear the difference? Do you hear the difference in receptiveness? And so when we do those things that we say that we want to do, when we motivate ourselves, when we stay pampered, when we stay ahead of our goals, when we say thank you and we manage our time, all we're doing is saying that I appreciate someone for appreciating me for my effort. You get up. If you're on top of your time management, you might do your words of affirmation. You might have a nice bath, do a nice scrub or a facial or face mask. Pamper yourself. You do these things. You're on top of your game. You're on top of your goals. You're staying ahead. You're managing your time wisely. So now your surplus is overflowing. So when you walk outside and you've done your makeup, even if it's not a lot of makeup, maybe you just put some mascara on and a lipstick, but you've done something to elevate yourself. Your hair is looking nice and polished and refined. You have an outfit on, not to say you're dressed up and all of that, but just you look nice. It's a nice presentation, a nice package. You can simply walk out into the world and the surplus is overflowing and people will say thank you. Wow, thank you for the effort that you put into yourself. It's not really about somebody wanting something from you. It's the opposite. It's somebody giving to you. You don't want to get to the point where you block yourself off so much to the point that you can't receive. And then this brings us to our last and final topic on becoming feminine motivation, right? So just to recap, when we want to stay motivated for ourselves in a feminine way, we make sure we work on our time management. We make sure we do our best to stay ahead. We need to stay ahead and on top. We also do our best to stay pampered so that we have the surplus to say thank you, so that we understand our boundaries and we have the ability to receive completely, right, without triggering those boundaries. And the last final thing that is a part of our feminine motivation, how do we become feminine motivation for others, is realizing that you have to be a challenge. That is the best way I can say it. You have to become a challenge. If you are a person and you do all of these things for yourself, right? You are well maintained, you're grooming. You are well pampered and cared for. You are living out of your surplus. You are loved. You love yourself. You are on top of your goals. Abundance in all areas of your life. Abundance in health, abundance in wealth, abundance in mindset, abundance in opportunity. When you're truly ahead, no one can come up to you and just get you. No one can come up to you and just have you. It doesn't matter how much money they have. Okay, because you'll get to the point where your standard is all of the men you date have to have money. If everybody has money, it's not about money. If you don't talk to any men that don't have money, then it's not about money. Well, they all have money more than you, so which man do you like the best? Who has the character that you want? Who has the morals you want? Who has the standards, the excellent standards that you want for your life, that you want maybe for some children? Who do you feel like can instill great values into your children? Who are you compatible with? Who can you see yourself growing to love for the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years? Human beings are living long. We live over 100 all the time, right? So at what point do you realize that you are a challenge, okay? You have to love yourself so much that it creates challenge. It creates challenge. When people know that it's easy to get you, they don't want you. And we see this on the internet, and I don't want to, put anybody down. It's not about anybody specifically, but we see this. There are women who they'll do anything to have a man. There are women who they'll do anything to keep a man. There are women who, and y'all can hear me, I'm from the South, right? There are women who will get up in the middle of the night to cook meals for their man. I'm not getting up in the middle of the night. You can go get some of those leftovers because I'm ahead and I have meal prep and there's some fruit in there chopped up already, right? But we're not getting up at 2 o'clock in the morning to make anything. That's over. That's over with, unless I want to. If I want to, I can. But if I don't want to, it shouldn't be a prerequisite for me to have a man. But there are men and people, okay? There are people who will take advantage of you simply because you're not a challenge. And what I'm saying is, as a feminine woman who motivates herself to stay on her own grind, to get her own bag, to accomplish her own goals, to satisfy her own soul, she is not the same person as a woman who doesn't do those things. And as a result of her doing those things, she motivates. She motivates. Her very presence motivates. When she speaks, she motivates. When she opens her mouth and she gives love, it is so special because giving and receiving are the same vibrational frequency. She's giving love on the level that she gives to herself. So as a woman, as a feminine being, and you don't have to be a woman to be feminine, but women in general have more feminine energy than men. As a feminine being, you want to always be in the position to not only motivate yourself and stay motivated, enjoy the feminine part of you and the masculine part of you, but also be able to motivate in a way that is truly feminine. With that, I just want to let you know, keep working on yourself. Stay hungry for it, right? Keep your mindset together. You can do it. Laser focus. As always, goodbye.